What's going on, guys? This is Empty Box, and this is Battlefield 3 Close Quarters Operation 925 Gunmaster. Although I'm going to call it Gun Game because it's Gun Game. It really is. I don't know why they had to call it Gunmaster, but it's Gun Game. I mean, we all know that. Gun Game, of course, from Counter-Strike, not from Call of Duty. If you say Call of Duty, I'll get my frozen salmon out that I keep for situations just like this and smack you with it. Anyways, let's talk some close quarters. Yeah, close quarters. Everybody loves some new maps, which I do agree with. Obviously new maps are good, usually. We'll see where I'm going with that. As well as some Gunmaster. I'll discuss Gunmaster here right up front. It's a great mode in Battlefield 3. At least coming from a team deathmatch perspective. I mean, I feel like playing Battlefield. I want to play me some real Battlefield. I'm going to play Gunmaster. Because, this doesn't feel like Battlefield at all. Not even close. If you're looking for that Battlefield feeling, obviously this is not the thing. If you just want to run around, for, a couple minutes, in between games or something, while you're waiting for some people to hop online or whatever, this is a fun little diversionary thing. And that is what it is. Obviously Gunmaster, Gun Game, if you played it in any other games, you would know that it's very easy to get burnt out on, very quickly. So it's kind of one of those things that in and of itself, just by its own design, is a diversionary thing. So I wouldn't take it too seriously. Same thing I say about Team Deathmatch. Just kind of run around and have some fun. Practice your aiming skills and everything. And obviously with Gun Game here, you get a bunch of different weapons through your hands and everything, so that's a good thing. And you do, of course, unlock unlocks and attachments by playing Gunmaster. For example, if you cross over, your 100th kill for a service star, you would get your service star, in Gunmaster, which I think is pretty self-explanatory. How you would think it'd work, but for whatever reason, I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys were thinking that probably wasn't going to happen. And nice wall plant, bro. That guy just like, I'm Spider-Man! I'm not Spider-Man, I'm dead. Battlefield ragdolls, they happen and they're funny. But, overall, Gun Game is pretty fun, to be perfectly honest. This is easily the most fun I've had in Gun Game. That said, I'm not really the best at Counter-Strike. While I was decent at Call of Duty, once they got to Black Ops where they added in Gun Game, I was kind of like, I'm done with this series because they keep making the same game. Which I'm pretty sure you guys have heard me rant about before in one of my Call of Duty videos, but this isn't Call of Duty, although it's pretty damn close. But I'll go into that later. Main issue, though, with Gun Game is just the weapon leveling. For example, the 1911 should be the first pistol, to be perfectly honest. The 443 versus the 93R is not even close to a fair fight. I mean, you'd have to be delusional to say that on these maps a 443 is almost as good as a 93R. Obviously, the higher tier weapons are supposed to be better until you get to the point where you start coming down, which, is part of the Gun Game formula to make the game really fun and everything, but that's just way too big of a jump for the first two levels. I mean, if you stick the 1911 in for the 443 or the 1911 for the 93R, much better, much more of an improvement right there, much less of a, oh hey, that guy was the first guy to get his 93R, so he's going to be the first guy to get his 44, because that's how it works with the leveling they got here, because, again, the 443 just can't hold anything up to a 93R the way they are. I mean, 93R does the same damage, it fires like 10 times faster, it's got a larger magazine, and it's got just about the same recoil. It's not even close to a competitive balance, or the balance that you need for something like Gun Game. But you all know that's a small issue. Let's go over to the maps now and everything, because that's the part you guys are probably wondering about more so than me rambling about Gun Game and how much fun it is in Battlefield 3. But again, remember, diversionary, use it as such. The maps are, I'm just going to say right now, the maps are beautiful in this game. I do play, obviously, of course, on PC with everything on high just for extra frame rate. I could bump it up to ultra just to have my eyes bleed with the sexiness that I'd be seeing on my monitor and everything, but I do play on high with a FXAA injector, which basically sharpens the picture as well as kind of bumps up the color a little bit. And there's no issues with Punk Buster, people. I've been playing with this since literally like November or so. No issues at all. So go ahead and use it. It definitely makes the game look much better. You probably won't notice it on YouTube, but there is a massive change. But speaking of that injector plus the settings I play with, plus scrap metal. Scrap metal is easily, that map is just beautiful looking. Of course, it is highly stylized and everything. It doesn't look realistic, but you know, that's probably for the better. You know, much like how Crisis looks so great, but you know, Crisis doesn't look, you know, photorealistic until you start adding in mods and everything, but it doesn't try to out of the box, you know, is the way I view it. You know, it tries to look very, very good, but it's kind of a little bit cartoonish style. But you know, the maps do look gorgeous. You know, they definitely look better than the stock maps. They definitely look better than the Back to Karkin maps. In terms of the maps and how they play and everything, I have played 16 and 32 player Conquest, Domination, and Gun Game on most of them. I've played all 4 of them in Conquest, Domination, 32 player, which, you know, I'll cover this here. But you know, 16 player, when I played the 16 player, I was thinking, my God, this is the most boring frickin' thing ever. I mean, it moves like I'm playing Operation Firestorm, which is easily one of my most hated maps in this game, besides the small shoeboxes. But you know, Firestorm obviously does not move fast, but at least when you're playing Firestorm, you have the vehicles and everything, which, you know, adds an extra depth that obviously Close Quarters doesn't have. It was just boring. It was literally just boring. Of course, on PC, we do have multiple server options and everything, and people add in ridiculous player counts. Like, I'm pretty sure there's 64-man Zeba Tower, which is just like, shoot me now. For those of you guys who play Call of Duty 4, hey look, it's Shipment with 64 players all over again. Yeah! True skill gaming. Only without martyrdom this time. Praise the Lord. But you know, Zeba Tower is just really freaking small. For 16 players, that map is more than enough. You know, that map is really mazy, really disorienting. There's a lot of pathways and different ways to get everywhere. You know, so it sounds like, oh, hey, there's a lot of rooms and corners and everything. There's going to be a lot of camping. No, there's not a lot of camping. Everybody's running around looking for somebody else. That's kind of how it's been working in here. You know, then when you switch over to the 32-player server, you literally can't get to a camp spot on Zeba Tower. It's like literally, as soon as you spawn in, the gunfight is right there in your face. It's like, yeah, you wanted action? We got action! It's like, it's intense. It's insane. It's like, not Battlefield, but it's like insane. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that. You know, I do not like Zeba Tower though. I hate that map. If I have to play it again, I'd be like, I don't want to play it again. I'd rather play Operation Metro. Not really. That was just a joke. I definitely do not want to play Operation Metro. That map is even worse. But Zeba Tower absolutely sucks. But then again, it's designed really for 16 players. You know, really. I mean, that map really heavily reflects the 16-player, you know, quote-unquote limit that they were stating. Obviously, on PC, that's not the truth, as there's, you know, 24, 32, 48, and 64-player servers out there, if you look hard enough through the broken browser. But, you know, the other maps, though, Operation 925 is honestly the best map in the pack, and it's actually a really good map, if you ask me. It definitely fits 32 players, you know, in all, both of the new game modes. Obviously, Team Deathmatch works on all of them just because the spawns are crap anyways, and, you know, you're really just there just to shoot people and, you know, be brainless when you don't actually want to play Battlefield. But, you know, Operation 925, it looks great, it plays great. I do think the upper level that you see right up there to my upper left, where that guy is up there, just absolutely useless. There's never anything up there going on. I don't know why it's there. It just spreads out the players. But again, I guess that makes it a little bit better with 32 players than it would have been otherwise. So I can't gripe there. Danya Fortress is a map that strangely, I did not really like too terribly much, which is kind of odd because in the trailer it looked like a map that's like, yeah, that has potential. My main gripes with that was just a simple fact that there's so many freaking dead ends. Like, that map is literally like a maze. It's actually more of a maze than Zeba Tower is, in my opinion, because at least Zeba Tower, when you do inevitably take the wrong turn that we're all taking right now early on in this pack's life, you know, you get to where you were intending to go fairly quickly because the map is so small. But Dania Fortress is, you know, again, a map that does work fairly decently for 32 players. You know, there's literally like a room that you go into expecting to get to a room right next door, and you actually have to run outside, like, into the courtyard to go back one door over. It's like, why? This isn't like actual good map design. Am I supposed to, like, just take a grenade launcher and knock the wall out or something? Like, why not just put a door? And by the way, they did actually add in doors on Dania Fortress. Only now you can't just knife from Bad Company 2 style, which is really annoying. You actually, like, need a grenade launcher or an RPG to destroy a door. It kind of seems a little unnecessary when there's door handles. Why does DICE not know how to use door handles? Is that what they do in Sweden? They get their AT4 out and just go, "Ja, must breach it clear." Poof. And yes, that's totally German. I can't do a Swedish accent or anything, but close enough. So Dania Fortress isn't bad. It's definitely pretty darn good in Conquest Domination, which, you know, again, it's a really fun mode, to be perfectly honest. You know, at least on these smaller maps and everything. It definitely fits well, kind of like Conquest Assault on the larger maps. And, oh god, I'm knifing. Strafe maneuver! Fail. This knife is shenanigans. This is totally cock-block central, but Operation 95 is a bit awesome. Zeba Tower sucks. It's way too small. Dania Fortress, not that great. And then there's one other, Scrap Metal. Scrap Metal just looks amazing. It's just amazing looking. Oh my god, knife! I'm gonna knife him! Oh god. FML. FML, right? But Scrap Metal does look good. The spawns and everything in 32 man are just a little bit too crazy. Of course, that is to be expected again, but you know, it's like the Conquest Domination, there's a flag that's literally right on, like, a spot that you have to, like, funnel on through, which just absolutely sucks. It's way too reminiscent of Metro. And can I get him? Can I get him? Can I get him? Oh god! For the love of all that is holy. But you know, it's a really fun map, I think. You know, it'll be great for team deathmatch. And yeah! Finally, look at the little stars go flying and everything. So that's gonna be that. The maps aren't that bad. It's not that bad. It's not that good either, but it's definitely better than expected. So, bye.